I don't think we play with the lights in here, do we? We don't dim and bright, we don't take them up and down, right? Okay, just wondering.
He went to the principal.
So could you please get them to knock it off?
No problem. I got this. Attention, please. Students, attention, please. Ladies, would you please stop putting lipstick prints on the bathroom mirrors? I repeat, ladies, would you please stop putting lipstick prints on the bathroom mirrors? Thank you. Is that good?
Yeah,
Jelly bean?
sure.
What would you guess happened? The number of daily mirror kissings doubled. Eulogio spent hours cleaning them off. That's when he got smart. He called a group of the most popular girls in the school, known culprits, down into the lavatory.
Ladies, I'd like to thank you for your time. Every day at the end of the day, I have to go through an unnecessary cleaning process. I'd like to show it to you, and I'm hoping you're willing to help. If you look over here to the mirror, see these lip prints? They're greasy and difficult to get off. I go home late every day because I spend so much time on these mirrors. I'd like to show you what I have to do every day. Every day I do this.
I grew up in a rural community in Michigan, and throughout grade school and my high school period, I lived in a rural community, so that means I rode the bus. Every day, my first day and my first event was with a bus driver. Every night, my last event was with a bus driver. It's very important when you're young when a bus driver greets you in the morning with a good morning and a smile. And I tell you, there are very few bus drivers I remember as I grew up, but one in particular I remember, his name was Mr. Turpin. Mr. Turpin did not ever have us get on that bus. Each individual was greeted with a good morning and with a smile. But something Mr. Turpin did that I really remember, his bus is the only bus I can ever remember that had music on it. Okay? And Mr. Turpin himself installed speakers on the bus, I know that, and an 8-track tape player. Okay? Now, I know what you're thinking right now. What the heck is an 8-track tape player, right? Some of us know, some of us don't, okay? But seriously, all joking aside, as I think back, every morning I got in that bus, the music was low, it wasn't very loud, and unfortunately we had 2 railroad tracks between us and the school district. So bus drivers, what do you do at those railroad tracks? Stop the bus, open the, hey, do you still have handles on the bus or a button? I don't even know anymore. A button, wow, okay. Well, anyway, he used to have that hand to open it and close it and turn the music down. So I hated the railroad tracks, but the music was always upbeat and positive. Every morning on that bus, that music was on. It was amazing. And what I need you to do as bus drivers, think a little bit about long-term, your impact on adults like me today who were students 10 years ago. Well, you're laughing at me. Okay. A little bit more than 10 years ago, okay? The other thing I remember is during my junior year in high school, I worked with the custodial and maintenance staff as a co-op student. Who do we have here in the janitorial and services? Anybody? No one? Custodial services? Okay. I was going to say we must have some really dirty schools. Huh? All joking aside, but what we used to do, and I was very proud of watching these people try to get the school back in proper operation and condition after the use and misuse in many cases during the previous school year. But the thing I remember the most was resurfacing the gymnasium floor. And where I come from, like many schools, sports was very important. But this particular summer that I had to work with the custodial and maintenance staff, we stripped the floor in the gymnasium. Now, I don't know what you use today, but back then it was this liquid you put on the floor, and when it mixed with the varnish, it was very caustic and harsh, and it burned your skin. Do we use that today still? I don't know. Look, no, see, I'm really old, aren't I? Okay. Wow. But anyway, as we were doing this, as it mixes with the varnish, the floor becomes very slippery. So you probably know where this story is going. As a young man, I fell in it. I made very many Olympic coaches and track coaches happy because I did the quickest 50-yard dash to the shower locker room that you'd ever seen in your life. So I'm glad you don't use that material today. So what I learned that summer was a work ethic, a pride in work, and I still carry that pride and work ethic with me today. And I definitely attribute it to my early experience with the custodial and facility staff during my co-op year in junior high school. So how important are you? How important are you? How important are the audiovisual people? How important are you? How important are batteries for a clicker? That is not it. There we go. So let's try it again. How important are you? Watch this. Okay. Stop.
The window.
Hey, I can tell you guys, if this is the worst thing that happened to me today, I had a great day anyway.
Reporters saw the
Right?
school bus engulfed in flames and managed to record it all on their cell phone.
You could feel the heat from across the street, so we had no idea if they were still on there or off there.
The bus was carrying 56 students to take to 4 different schools in Spartanburg County. School officials tell us that 2 students seated in the back of the bus told the bus driver they smelled smoke.
I was expecting to see just a little bit of char on the back of the bus. When I pulled up on the scene and saw this, my heart dropped.
After students alerted the bus driver, she sprang into action to get the kids to safety.
She did exactly what she had been trained to do in terms of evacuating those students and looking out for their safety.
The bus driver, Teresa Strobel, managed to get all 56 students off the bus and down South Moore Street in Duncan to safety.
She evacuated those 56 students in less than a minute.
Teresa Strobel is being called a hero for her actions and has served as a bus driver for 10 years to date. In Duncan, Aubrey Jackson, WYFF News 4.
I don't know if you heard that, but she got 56 kids off a bus in 1 minute. How important are you? Okay. So the question now is, what if you weren't here? We're going to talk about that in a minute. But before I do, I want to do something. Oh, Scott, tell me this mic move. Good, I can move. Before we do that, I want to do something. I need you to learn to say two things with me. The first thing I need you to say is me. Louder. The second thing I need you to learn to say is right here. All right, we're going to use that in just a minute. In fact, let's do a practice. Dallas ISD Service Operations Division, where are you? Outstanding. Okay. So to put things into perspective, let's talk about what it would look like without you. No one performing any of the work you do. Maintenance and facility services. Maintenance and facility services, where are you? Think about this. Think about this. Buildings and grounds with no maintenance teams. Buildings falling slowly and deteriorating over time. Classrooms filthy and dusty. Students learning in unhealthy environments. Mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems that don't work. Landscapes being overtaken by weeds and other vegetation. Okay, I need you to get ready. That's what it looks like without. That's what it looks like without. How important are you? Okay. Police department, where are you? They're working. There you go. All outside the parking lot and security. I got it. What about schools without your protection? Putting the safety and welfare of our students, our faculty, and others in the buildings at risk, at greater risk. No added feeling of safety for students. And more importantly, no one for those students who plan to be in law enforcement someday in their life. No role model, no one to look up to see what protect and serve really looks like. That's what it looks like without, not without me, without you. Who said it right here? I haven't got to you yet. Student Transportation Services, where are you? Think about all the students that rely on the buses and all the other school vehicles. What happens when they're not able to get safely from their home to the school and back to their home? What happens when they have no safe transportation that allows them to participate in after-hours activities, extracurricular activities such as sports and other things? What happens when schools are delayed because the buses have broken down? What happens to those students like me in my early days that needed that smile and good morning? That's what it looks like without. That's what it looks like without. Oh, not that, right? Sorry about that. That's police department. That's what it looks like without you. Sorry. That's what it looks like without you. Construction bond services, where are you? Right where? All right. What if project management teams responsible for the coordination and execution of an upcoming multi-million-dollar project didn't exist? What if we didn't have you making sure the district, the community, and the taxpayers get the most value for their money? What happens when multiple construction renovation projects go on without the proper coordination from the ISD? What happens when we don't have the knowledge that people need to understand construction, construction documentation, and construction processes? That's what it looks like without. That's what it looks like without. All right. Food and nutrition services, where are you? Wow. Wow. What if our students had no place for a nourishing meal during the school day? What if there were no food and child nutrition services? What would happen to those students in the free lunch programs? What would happen to those students who in some cases rely on you for their most nutritional meal of the day, and in some cases, sometimes their only meal of the day? What would happen to those capacity for learning if they didn't attend classes with a full stomach? And how many of you in the food service industry recognize the term hangry? Hangry is anger caused by hunger. That's what it looks like without. That's what it looks like without. You got it. Information and technology, where are you? No IT. Oh, hey, I'm turning the page on this one.
Dallas school leaders are preparing for a major change in the way they get your kids to school. Voters decided to do away with Dallas County schools, which will only provide bus services for students through the end of this year. Robbie Owens is live at Dallas ISD headquarters with the plan now to make this transition go as smoothly as possible. Robbie.
Well, Ken, getting tens of thousands of students to school safely and on time, no easy task. And at this point, district officials believe the best way to make that happen is to run the bus system themselves. Like it or not, DISD is now in the school bus business.
There's many things that have to take place in a short period of time. Procurement, bids, gas, parts, technology.
Scott Lane is DISD's Deputy Superintendent of Operations. Today, he briefed board trustees on the district's transportation options, saying the best route is to run the buses themselves to get better control and more accountability.
They will be our employees. When parents call, we can deal directly with the employees rather than with the service. We'll have better customer service, better communication with our stakeholders. I see many advantages.
DISD will also look to hire the DCS bus drivers and support staff who would perhaps otherwise be out of jobs when the agency is dissolved and at their current hourly rates.
And we want to get the message out that we want those employees that work at those service centers that continue to provide transportation for our kids. Our number one goal is to ensure we have safe transportation services and at the most cost-effective price for our students and for our parents.
DISD staffers believe that ultimately they will be able to run the buses more effectively and at less cost than did Dallas County schools. At this point, they tell me their biggest worry, bringing on 1,100 new employees by the end of the school year. They want to have that bus system in-house before the start of summer school. Live at DISD headquarters in Dallas, Robbie Owens, CBS 11 News.
Welcome to those people that came on board. Give them a hand. Here's what I'd like us to do now. Think about our total team collectively. The results of everything you do, from technology to facilities maintenance to transportation to food and nutrition to construction and property services to protecting our loved ones from harm. Everything you do are the most visible indications of Dallas ISD to the community. It's the first thing they see, the results of what you do. Think about the parents or the guardians going to DISD websites for current information, parents putting their children on well-maintained school buses, parents visiting and walking through your clean and healthy school facilities. and some parents and guardians walking through the school and seeing professional and well-trained safety officers in the hallways. You know what? That's what it looks like with. That's what it looks like with. Okay? What effect do you think your work has on parents of new students, new parents coming to DISD? As it relates to their first impression, what influence do you believe you have on existing parents and existing students on the way they feel and their attitudes towards DISD? Think of the impact your work has on the district's ability to attract qualified faculty and staff. Do you realize that in most cases the results of what you do are really and truly the first visible signs of what Dallas ISD is all about? Do you know that? So how important are you? How important are you?
Being a custodian here at Trinity High School in Euless, Steve Hartman, on the road in Euless, Texas.
Give him a hand. That gentleman's at Euless, by the way, if you didn't catch that. So at times you might feel that there are jobs more important than yours in the district. However, we all know that the district would come to a standstill without your support and your services. I really would like you not to think about your jobs as just what you do, but as the results of what you do brings to others. We just want to say whatever job you do, be the best at it. Do it in a manner you can be proud of. Do it with your customers in mind. The students, the faculty and staff, and the community. What you do is not just a job. What you do creates a healthy, safe, and productive environment for DISD students. You are sincerely appreciated, and I want to really thank you for allowing Harvey and I to be here today.